In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to close $1,000 plus per month agency or freelancing deals using Upwork. A lot of people think Upwork is just for low ticket deals. They think it's bad fit clients. They think that you can't scale with it, etc. But I've been able to scale my social media marketing agency to 6 figures just using Upwork outreach. And I've been able to help dozens and dozens of people do the same. And our average client value through Upwork is $1,100 per month. I've been able to help dozens and dozens of people hit these same numbers, like Jack, who just last week closed a $5,700 per month deal from Upwork, or my client Silas, who this morning closed a $5,000 a month deal using Upwork. This works if you have a social media marketing agency where you make content and manage accounts. This works for Meta ads, Google ads, any sort of like online marketing, social media marketing service. I've been able to help those businesses close $1,000 plus per month deals from Upwork. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through the whole step-by-step process, everything from what jobs do we actually apply to what do we say when we apply to the jobs, to how do we make the economics and the math work so that for every 8 or 10 proposals we send, we close one client, and for every dollar we spend on Upwork Connects, we make back at least 100. In my business, for every dollar we spend, we make back around 400. So I'm going to walk you through the math. I'm going to walk you through everything A to Z. If you don't know me, my name's Ty. I run a social media marketing agency. I run it since 2019, and I've scaled it using Upwork Outreach. And now I help other people do the same while actively running my agency. I've been able to help people hit 5, 10, 20, 30, 40K plus months just using Upwork and low delivery models, which is exactly what we talk about on this channel. If you're interested in getting my one-on-one help, you can DM me on Instagram after this video. Just find my Instagram here and DM me UW. If you're not looking for help, still stick around because this video will be tremendously valuable. So like I said, I'll walk you through which jobs to apply to. How do you actually want to structure your proposals? How do we actually create personalized proposals that turn $100 or $1 in connects into $100 plus in contract value? Now, before I even walk you through anything too technical, I want to walk you through how I approach and how I think about Upwork, because I've hired a lot of Upwork coaches, and I think we've got a really unique take on this, and this is honestly why we do so well. The first thing is that you have to know that there is no reward for second place. So a lot of Upwork coaches, a lot of freelancers, a lot of agencies, they take a volume approach where they're just blasting out 10, 20 plus proposals a day. Maybe they hire a setter to blast them. Maybe they hire some sort of software to do it for them. We don't do that. What we do is we handwrite 2 to 3 personalized proposals per day. That's it. Because I'd rather write 2 to 3 10 out of 10 proposals than 10 9 out of 10 proposals. Because if I do 10 9 out of 10 proposals, and 9 out of 10 is like the quality, if they're like pretty good but not perfect, if I do 10 of those, I'm still going to get beat by someone who has more experience, a better price, etc. I'm never going to have the best price on Upwork. And you, if you want to scale your business using Upwork, you shouldn't be the cheapest, right? You shouldn't have the most experience. You probably don't have the most experience. So instead, our approach is just based on this idea that we want to marry up the best jobs with the highest quality proposals and only do 2 to 3 a day. We've tracked this data and we found that usually like 2 or 3 a day is where you get a disproportionate return on your proposals. So before we even crack into it, we're not going to do tons and tons of proposals. I want you sending 2 to 3 proposals per day, fully personalized to the best quality jobs that we can find. Another idea is that I don't want you just selling deliverables. For us to be able to charge $1,000 plus per month, and I've had clients who will close, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 per month deals. For us to be able to do that, we need to sell guidance, not deliverables. And what I mean by that is if you're just selling, I'll edit the videos. If you're just selling, I'll run the ads. You're not going to be able to compete with other freelancers who are doing the exact same thing with more experience at a better price. Instead, what we need to do is we need to sell guidance. We need to sell that we'll step in and we'll kind of partner with them or guide them, and we'll really lead this side of the business rather than just execute on it. This takes you from being like a freelancer to being someone who is in charge of the whole process, which then means you can charge way more, but also it means clients are going to let you do things your way. If you're a freelancer, clients are going to insist that you fit into their system, which is not what I want, because I want to have 50 plus clients active at a time. And for me to do that, they need to come on board to our systems, do things our way, and they need to fit into our low delivery model, which is something else that I talk about on this channel. So we need to sell guidance, not deliverables. And what I find is that most freelancers are just one skill set short of a 6-figure income. Most of the time, that skill set is sales and positioning. They just don't know how to sell. And because of that, they sell deliverables and they just have to compete on price or experience, when really when I send proposals to my clients, They're not looking at those things. I charge more than other freelancers. I have less results, less experience, but I still win deals at higher prices because I step in and say, hey, I will lead your social media. I'm not just going to edit the videos. I'll lead your social media. I'll be your partner. I'll be your guide. You can charge so much more for your service if you step into this role as a guide, not just someone who's selling deliverables as a freelancer. Now that we have those two big ideas out of the way, I'm going to walk you through the more technical stuff. I'm going to walk you through how we actually find jobs, how we structure proposals, what we send to them, etc. Now, our goal is that for every 100 proposals sent, 50 of them are going to be viewed, 25 will be interviewed, 20 of those 25 turn into calls, and then 10 clients are closed. This is the math behind, turning 10 proposals into one client, turning $1 into at minimum 100. And this is what you should shoot for. So I'll come on and tell you this right away, that if you're doing things right, your number should look like this. Now, this is an example. It's a screenshot one of my clients sent me this week. They sent 6 proposals over 7 days. So they're sending like less than 1 proposal a day, really. But they sent 6, half of them reviewed, just like this. 2 of them were interviewed, so that follows pretty perfectly. Typically, if 2 are going to be interviewed, maybe 1 or 2 turns into a call. And if this person books 2 calls off of the back of that, 50% close rate is what the standard is for all of my clients. They'll close 1 client. So off of 6 proposals, which would have cost them like $12 to send, they'll close 1 client averaging $1,100 per month, just looking at our average deals from our clients. So this is what you need your numbers to look like. And that's how you'll know if you're doing this stuff right, or you'll know if there's something that needs improving. Now I want to walk you through what matters and what doesn't matter. So a lot of people, they spend so much time focusing on the profile. I don't care about profile. My profile, honestly, it's not that good. I don't think this matters as much because if you're writing a great proposal, then you're going to give them all the information they need to make a buying decision from the proposal. Your profile only matters for 2 things. One, if someone is coming to you directly inbound without you sending a proposal, which me and my clients, honestly, we don't get that many inbound. Most of the clients we close are from us sending proposals, so we don't get a ton of inbound. Therefore, profile doesn't matter too much. Second thing is this matters if there's not enough information in the proposal that they have to go to the profile to look for something. So if we do a good job with the proposals, profile doesn't matter. Don't spend too much time there. The only thing that I look for there is that it's 100% complete so that algorithmically your profile is geared to go and UpWork can actually show it at the top when you send your proposals. Number 2, your experience. A lot of people have this broken idea that they need to have years of experience. And like I said before, you're never going to win on experience. You're never going to win on price. So when I send proposals, I'm never the best price for sure, but I'm also never the most experienced. Instead, what we need to sell them on is sell them on our process. And I'll walk you through that in a little bit, but a lot of the clients that I've worked with, they start with 0 social proof, 0 case studies, 0 clients, and they're able to still close $1,000 per month deals through UpWork because they do these things right, which I'll walk you through here in just a minute. Another thing that doesn't matter, your money earned on the platform. This is something that people look at as a bit of social proof, but there's so many ways you can get social proof, right? Like money earned on platform matters if you have no other social proof and that's it. But there's so many other forms of social proof. For example, your portfolio, the process that you bring your clients into, how you actually work with your clients, giving them a sort of like personalized audit. All of those things serve to give you credibility and create social proof. So this is not relevant so long as you do the other things right. So I don't want you spending any time focusing on anything here. What does matter is these 4 things. The first thing is the job quality. Because we're only doing, 2 to 3 proposals a day, the 2 or 3 that we apply to, I want those jobs to be great. And I'll show you here in a minute what kind of jobs we personally look for and how to kind of qualify if a job is going to be worth your time applying to. Again, our goal is we want to have great proposals with great quality jobs. So job quality matters a lot. Speed to lead. This is how recently was a job posted. What we found is that if you apply within the first 3 hours, your chances of getting a job increase by 4 times at minimum. So what we need to do is we need to not apply to jobs that are older than 3 hours. That's our standard here. Another thing that matters a lot is your first 225 characters. So when you actually write a proposal, the first 225 characters is like the thumbnail. It's the only thing that someone sees. So we don't want to have a 225 character that is fluff. We want to spend a lot of time optimizing and personalizing that part there. The last thing that matters is having a personalized Loom video. This is just a video that for us, these are usually 2 to 3 minutes long. They're not super long, but it walks someone through your results, your process, and how you can help them. So these are the things that I think about. And now I'm going to break down each one of these in depth so you can understand exactly how we do this and how you can do this for yourself. Now, first thing, job quality. How do we find great quality jobs? The time zone matters here a lot because if you're looking for jobs at 3 a.m. American time and you are trying to hit jobs that were posted in the last 3 hours, you're not going to find anything. No one's posting great jobs between 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., etc. What I've found is the best time to actually do Upwork outreach is this prime window of 4 p.m. to 9 p.m. EST. And a bonus that I didn't put on here, a bonus is Saturday nights EST. I had clients who say that 70% of all deals they close just come from doing outreach on Saturday night. That seems to be just a hot spot, a great window to apply to jobs. The other thing is we want to make sure that we're only applying to jobs that are posted in the last 3 hours. That again is our speed to lead. And we only want to apply to jobs that are personalized and give us information you can connect with. So generally, if you see a job that begins with like, we are seeking, that's the hallmark that it was AI generated. And we want to be very cautious of applying to jobs like that. There's still a real person behind these kind of jobs, but whenever you see this, what sometimes happens is that AI hallucinates. So for example, I run a social media marketing agency. Oftentimes I see a we are seeking job post and it says, we need someone who can do TikTok, for example. And as I apply, I might say, hey, I can help you with your TikTok marketing. And then they might respond and say, hey, like, we don't even want TikTok marketing. Like, go away. And it says TikTok in the job post, but the AI will hallucinate that. So sometimes it becomes very difficult to write proposals that are high quality and actually connect with people if you're applying to these AI generated jobs. So we want to make sure that we're avoiding this and only applying to jobs that look something like this. Here's an example of one that I saved that I think would be a great job for us to apply to. Obviously, this one was posted yesterday. We only want to apply to ones that are posted in the last 3 hours. I just wanted to pull a quick example. So if this was posted in the last 3 hours, this would be a perfect job. We also want to look at the budget. So budget needs to be there. For our social media marketing services, $8 to $25 per hour is what we look for. Obviously, $8 an hour is really low if we want to charge $1,000 per month. But what happens with Upwork is that Upwork will suggest a range. So if you ever see this range, for example, it's not that someone actually wants to pay $8 an hour. It's that Upwork just suggested this range and that person didn't know what to pay this person. So they're oftentimes flexible and they can afford $1,000 per month. Now, the reason I saved this job is because you can see it's actually handwritten. They tell me exactly what they want in specific detail. You can read this, you can see that it's not perfect, right? This is a job that a person sat down and hand wrote. They didn't AI generate this job. It tells me what industry they're in. It's a fitness account. I don't ever want to apply to jobs where I don't know what industry it's in, because then how can I connect with someone when I don't even know who I'm talking to? It's very difficult to write good proposals if you don't have a great quality job. So I saved this job because the budget was there. If it was 3 hours, posted 3 hours ago, that would be great. And it also just told me specifically who they are. And they gave me a lot of information on what it is they want. So now when I write the proposal, there's so many points for me to connect with. Here's a bar for you, right? You'll never win on price. You'll never win on experience. And that's not just Upwork outreach, that's everything. Like, I'm never going to be the cheapest. I'm never going to be the best. Instead, what we have to do is compete on connection. Remember, most freelancers are one skill set short of a 6-figure income. That skill set is oftentimes sales. So the advantage that me and my clients have is that we just actually know how to create good offers and position them in a way where people hear and they're like, that makes sense. I want to work with this person because of the way that they've connected with me. But obviously, it's very hard to connect with someone if they don't tell you who they are or what they want. So this is an example of a job that we might apply to. Then what we do is we actually go and we highlight the important keywords of the job. When I write a proposal, I want to be able to use that person's language, their pain points, and their desires to create a great response to it. So when I write my first 225 characters, I want to use the main points that I've highlighted here in writing that. So one of the words they used was simple. Another thing that they used was this title, social media editor. They gave me a quick description of like what kind of things they want. And now I'm going to try to use their specific language when I write my 225. So when I think about marketing, when I think about sales and positioning and writing great proposals, we have a definition of marketing I teach all my clients, which is marketing is being able to describe pains and desires in the same or better language than someone has for themselves. what we're really trying to do is we're trying to put language and words to pains and desires. So my job here is to try to figure out what language do they use to describe their pains and desires, what pains do they have, what desires do they have, and I want to wrap that all up in a 225. So I'm going to show you exactly what I'd write to this here. I always start my proposals with hi because it's the shortest intro. I want to use those 225 characters sparingly. So like, hey, hello, greetings, anything like that, it's too long. I want to hyper optimize my first 225 characters. Then I want to introduce myself. I'm a social media editor. Now, I might use a different title for myself. Like in day-to-day, I might say I'm a social media manager. I'm a social media content creator. I might say all this stuff, but because they use the word editor, I want to make sure I use that same title for myself. It's the same thing that we're doing. It's just they describe it a different way. And if they describe it a different way, I want to use their language because marketing is being able to describe pains and desires in the same or better language. Same instance for like if someone says, I want short Instagram videos. I'm not going to write a proposal and say, hey, I can make you Instagram reels because they didn't use that word. And if you say, hey, I can make you reels, they might read it and say, I don't want Instagram reels. I want short Instagram videos. And we might even be talking about the same thing. But just because we're using different language, there's confusion and a confused mind doesn't buy. So I'm going to repeat the job title to them. And then I want to cut straight into experience or some sort of proof that I can actually help them here. I said I have experience creating simple but effective curated content and captions. The reason I'm using these words here is because those are the words they use themselves. So here's the word simple. That's why I use that word. They also said that they wanted to focus on like these looping reels with the captions, and they want a lot of storytelling reels with bigger captions. I saw captions mentioned multiple times, so I want to make sure that I can mention, hey, I can help you with that specifically. Designed both for engagement. Again, the word engagement is here twice. So I know that's a word they would use to describe their desires. So I want to make sure I repeat that back to them. And to win clients. I know this person probably doesn't just want to get more likes on their posts. I know that their end goal is probably to win clients. So they don't say that, but I think that's better language to describe what someone wants. I think that's a pretty universal want. So I'm going to mention that right in my first 225 characters. After that, what I'll do is I'll attach a personalized 3-minute Loom video that walks them through my results, my process, and how I can help. I'm going to show you an example of that here in just a minute. I'll also attach a link to my portfolio directly in my proposal. That way they can click it and they don't have to go all the way to the bottom or again, all the way to the profile to be able to see it. And then a short call to action, which I'll show you how I write these here in just a minute. But that's the anatomy of a great proposal. This is exactly how I write them. Even today, after having sent 2,000 plus proposals, I still go through and I highlight and I annotate the job. And I spend a lot of time reading this over and over and over again because in general on Upwork, you're going to succeed in proportion to how well you understand the customer's pains, desires, and language. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to record a personalized, usually 2 to 3 minute long Loom video walking through my results, my process, and how I can help them. What I like to do is I like to use a Miro board. Miro is the app that I'm on right now. You can see it top left-hand corner up here. It's free to use. You can make these really cool whiteboards. I have one for like all sorts of things for my coaching clients and things for my agency. So really, really cool app. And you can make these really off the cuff whiteboards that they feel personalized. They feel a little rough. And that's kind of how I want them to feel. I want them to feel like sauce and not feel super prepared. But I'll make these personalized Miro boards and Loom videos where I'll just walk them through exactly how I can help. Just to give you a quick example, I'm going to do a weird little role play here, walking you through how I might present this Miro board, I might say something like, hey, my name's Ty. I'm a social media video editor. I saw your job post and I saw that you're in the fitness niche and you're looking for some help creating these short, simple, but really effective engagement videos, probably to help you close more clients. And that's the whole reason I thought I would send you a personalized Loom video, just kind of walking you through my process, my results, and how I might be able to help you do that and be your social media editor. Just to walk you through some of my past client results on the screen here. Collectively, I've helped my clients last year get 400 million views. At this point, if you don't have big social proof like that, you can actually just show them different creatives. You can just show them, different things like this. You don't necessarily have to have a number here. But last year, I was able to help my clients get 400 million views on their social media content. And the reason I was able to do that, very similar to kind of what you're looking for in the job post, is my 3-step process that I use with every single client that I work with. So when I work with my clients, there's 3 things that I do with every single one of them.
The first thing I do is I work with them one-on-one. So I set them up in a one-on-one group where I work with them to extract their best ideas and really like kind of partner with them or guide them to make sure that I'm able to help them get their brand voice out and make it in a way that makes sense for social media. The second thing I do with every one of my clients is I onboard them using this onboarding form. So this usually take, an hour or two of your time. But what this means is that I basically download your brain. I'm able to create content that sounds like you, that connects with your ideal customer, and I don't have to bother you. Like this is something that helps me deeply understand you so that I can create great content. And then what I do is I create a custom content calendar for you. So I break down exactly what you need to record so you never have to wonder what to post. The only thing that you really need to do is show up for a couple hours per month, record the content that I tell you to record, and I handle the rest. My clients usually they get all their social media content done with a couple hours per month. And because of our partnership and because we work so closely with the clients that we work with, we've been able to help them get results like this. So just based on your situation and what I saw in the job post, I definitely think this is something I need help with. But I'd love to, meet you, chat a little bit more with you. Maybe grab a quick call this week for, 30, 45 minutes just to make sure I really understand your brand and can actually help. So I'd love to hear from you. Send me a message on Upwork and we can chat soon. It's a very rough example of what I might do for a Myra video and a Loom video. Quick note, my call to action in that Loom video that I showed you, plus my call to action in the proposal is always going to be, I can send you across some more info, or we can have a call to see if I'm a fit. We don't want to just sell anyone in and just saying, hey, I just want to make sure I can help. I just want to see if it would be a good fit. It's a really good sales line just to make sure that people understand that like, hey, this is not just we're going to make offers to everyone. This is we want to work with people we can actually help. The reason we offer them info or a call is because some people have questions before they're ready for a call. And for $1,000 per month package, obviously you always want to sell those through a sales call, 45-minute call just to understand their business, make sure you can help and walk them through your offer. So I always offer info or a call because some people aren't ready for the call quite yet. They maybe have a couple questions and I want them to have the opportunity to ask those questions rather than them feeling rushed to a call where that's the only option, where they have to be sold. So I always offer them info. The goal, if they want a little bit more info, is we can chat back and forth on Upwork and then we'll book a call with them. But this is exactly how I structure my call to actions. Now, that was a lot of information. And right now you probably have hopefully a notebook full of notes, a brain full of ideas. But if you want my one-on-one help actually putting this together in a way that makes sense for your business, whether you are a marketing agency and you're looking to scale, or maybe you're a freelancer and you just want to scale your freelancing business or turn your freelancing business into more of like a marketing agency, I've been able to build a 6-figure marketing agency off the back of Upwork Outreach and also build a low delivery model so they're not stuck all day servicing my clients. My average time in the business is, a few hours per week at this point, and I've been able to help dozens and dozens of people close clients for 1K plus per month, or, even close. I have some clients who have, 10, 15, 20 clients ranging anywhere from like $500 to $3,000 per month. And they have a business that's doing 20, 30, 40K per month just through Upwork Outreach. And it's only taking them, a few hours per week to run that business because they've installed what we call a low delivery model. So if you want my help and you don't just want this to be information that rattles around your head, what you can do is just send me a DM on Instagram. This is my handle. You can just DM me UW. I'll ask you a couple questions. I'll actually make sure I can help you. And if it's a fit, then I can work with you one-on-one to actually help you with your Upwork Outreach, help you build what we call a transformation offer, an easy to sell offer that actually helps your clients, and build a low delivery model so that you can scale your Upwork agency, your freelancing business, or your social media marketing agency. I'll see you in the next one.